some theory in our course, but the real value is the experience and the experimenting with different states of being in different contexts.
There's a minimum of theory, but what we do have is a special language, an ontological domain of conversation. Just like a doctor. A doctor has certain terminology, or a dentist, or an auto mechanic, or a psychiatrist, or anybody that has a specialty, has a certain language, shop talk. You hear two people talking about their occupation, and you don't understand half of what they're talking about, but they do. And that terminology allows them to be expert in their field. Similarly, we have a domain of conversation about ontology. We call it the ontic conversation. Okay? Like, what are you being? What am I being? What is being? And we have a bunch of terms and linguistic constructions that embrace concepts that allow you to manipulate being. Okay? This is the new thing that we're contributing. Okay? And some of these contributions come from Warner Erhard and Est. Some come from Korzybski and general semantics. A few even come from Scientology, some from Harvard, some from the Vedas, some from Buddhism, some from, here and there, science and this and that. Ontology is the only Western science we found powerful enough to actually translate the original concepts from the Vedas. And in our advanced courses, we get into some of these concepts that are extremely powerful for manifesting good things in your life, like rasa, and like that. There are many. Oh yeah, you'll flip out, man. You understand?
You don't need anything.
Woo-wee. It's all there inside. So
we're always looking outside, but the answer is really right there.
It's inside. Yeah, it's who you are being. The answer is in being. That's why we can't give you any information or knowledge beyond maybe this system of terminology. That's really all you need. The tools, the conceptual tools, to come to certain conclusions and realizations independently. We want you to be independent. We don't want a bunch of followers. We don't want to establish another religion. I already did that, man. I'm done with that. I resigned as the guru. That's why I'm called Unguru on YouTube.
We want you to excavate your real self under all that crap that other people put on you. Told you that you were or can or can't do. Under there's a real person, and you know it. Just
a beautiful person.
Yeah.
A perfect person. Perfect in the sense of being whole and complete. That's our definition of integrity. See, it took this whole conversation to get around to the I word. It's possible to have a conversation about something without ever mentioning that thing. And what we've been talking about all the time, that we've been talking to you just now, is wrapped up in the single word, integrity. If you can be integrity, if you can have the being of integrity, that's what we call our course, being integrity. All these other things that we've been showing in this film will show up in your space. You don't have to endeavor independently for all these things. Even God. Somebody wrote the other day, "What's wrong with you? You used to be a nice religious teacher. Now you don't even talk about God." No. Because, well, God is part of reality, right? And if you have integrity, then you have your integrity in with the whole reality. Okay?
Including the biggest box.
Including, right, the everything box. So we don't worry about that. It's not like we have to sit and teach you about God. This is not Sunday school, people. This is where you get your integrity in. And once you have integrity, whatever comes up, you're going to deal with it with integrity. The reason that our last project failed, very instructively, was that we had all the knowledge, we had everything except integrity. And that was the reason that sabotaged the whole project. I was the only one who was acting with integrity. And everyone else rebelled against me. Because there seems to be some agreement on the part of religious people that we're hypocrites. We don't follow our own rules. If somebody doesn't want to follow our rules, then we have the ability to break all of our rules and punish them. That's bullshit, man. So I resigned as guru because I didn't want to forward this concept of religious hypocrisy anymore. That's the truth. So we don't talk about religion, we don't talk about God, but still we're very religious and godly. Well, how is that? We have integrity. And we deal with everything with integrity, including the subject of God and religion. But we don't even need to discuss that. All we need to talk about is integrity and help people get their integrity in. And automatically all these other considerations are solved. And it'll be like that for you too, whatever your thing is. You get your integrity in, and all these other problems are going to resolve pretty much automatically. That's our experience.
Integrity means, among other things, honoring your word. And once you start honoring your word to yourself, then you can tell yourself something, and then you can actually follow it. And then you can stop with all those habits that you never could before. You can change all those things that aren't working in your life. And you can start to research what is actually my taste, what do I love to do, and go for it from 100% of your energy.
And when you do that, beautiful things show up. Yes, you might have to go through a crucible experience. You might have to go through a period of change and turmoil where you might have to break some of your agreements and you might have to trample on some people's expectations. You might get in trouble with your friends because you're changing. Oh, God forbid that. Anyway, no, that little bit of trouble is worth so much because it's going to get rid of the sources of pain in your life. See, the pain is in the tension between who we think we have to be and who we really are. Who we really are is nothing but pleasure. But as soon as we accept that, oh, I have to be like that because of so-and-so what they think, that's pain. That's a tension. And until that tension resolves, we can't really be comfortable. So we're here to give you the tools to resolve that tension and be able to be who you really are without strain, without stress, without anxiety, without tension, without hypocrisy, without lying, without masks. In fact, we take off all the masks. And then when we get to the point where the last mask is removed, we find that we are nothing. We're not a thing. We're a space. We're a space where stuff shows up.
A being.
A being, in other words.
Human being.
A human being. A human being, in the full sense of the word, has a constant inquiry into being, into beingness. So what is being? And what am I being? And what are others being? And how does this all work?
You're talking to yourself and you're talking to time.
Yes. Time is the ultimate ontological constraint. And in our advanced seminars, we get into how to communicate with the time and discover the ultimate constraints of the time within which we have full freedom of being, action, and having. And this is such a wonderful state. There's no words to describe it. We can sit here and rave about it endlessly, but until you experience it, you won't really know what we're talking about.
Once you start this ontological inquiry, you'll be oscillating between states of intense bliss and some pain, because you'll dive into all your...
Well, there's pain there, man. There's pain in life. You have to confront it.
Everyone has sides of themselves that they're not particularly proud of. And once you start this will become very clear, and you'll get a handle on it. And you'll go back into old habits and do some stuff that you, or be or feel some stuff that you, you're becoming aware that that's not really you, and it's painful. But then you think about it, you resolve it, you value it from your new standard, and then you go back into bliss just by being. It's an adventure.
And it's an adventure that you're invited to go on with us. So you know you want this. Okay? Send the email. Register for the seminar. Look at the first video, huh? This is video number 0. Look at video number 1. It gives instructions how to register for the seminar. Register for the seminar. You're just going to get some emails, man. Nobody's going to knock on your door, you know. Nothing to buy, nothing to do. Just watch the videos. Okay? It's not going to hurt much.
And now we're starting to gather a crowd of individuals who got really nice stuff. Yeah. People are communicating with integrity and really showing themselves.
Some of the shares are just amazing. So you want to be a part of this. So join the seminar already.
Help us clear the planet.
Right. We're going to clear the planet. And then everybody will know what this means.